So you start making videos about your journey as a Muslim, and all of a sudden, something interesting happens. The people who are praising you for making the right choice start telling you over and over and over again what you have to do. And shocker, you didn't know that they were going to tell you what to do and that they were going to enforce rules on you and that they were going to tell you there are all these things that you have to do now. And they're shocked, AP. Shocked, I say. Let's go ahead and check out an example.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Alaikum salam.
We need to talk.
Okay.
I get comments like this about 50.
The comment says, sister, please start to cover your hair. That's not even disrespectful, right? It's just, sister, please start to cover your hair. By the way, if anyone knows where this accent is from, let us know. Can't peg
It sounds somewhere between Slavic and North European.
Sounds somewhere not American.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning. We need to talk. I get comments like this about 50 to 100 every single day.
She said she gets 50 to 100 comments a day telling her what to wear, telling her that she needs to cover her hair. 50 to 100 a day. That's a lot of people dedicating a lot of time to telling her what to wear.
Okay, here's a wild guess. She could be Dutch.
You're still on that? I moved on like 10 years ago.
She could be Danish.
Oh, okay.
I think she's Dutch.
Thousands of men.
Thousands of men.
Telling me to cover my hair.
Shocker. Shocker. I could never predict that.
Please stop. You all say that it's commanded by God, but how certain are you?
How certain are you? This lady, I have no idea who she is. She has no clue how much she's triggering them right now, right? She's thinking as an individual, hey guys, I do not know. I want to research this for myself to decide what I'm going to wear. I'm not just going to do what everyone in the comments section is telling me to do. So I get to make decisions, and I'm casting doubt right now. How certain are you that these verses in the Quran, I think there are like 2 of them, how certain are you that these are commanding you to dress in a certain way? How certain are you? What is she doing? She's casting doubt upon the idea that women have to wear hijabs. Is that going to go over well in the Muslim community where they're watching and they know that she has other women who watch her channel, Muslim women who watch her channel? She's already put herself out there. Hey, I'm a new revert. Everyone look at me. I'm a new revert. And so everyone, yay. And all the Muslim women of the world, yay. Oh, we're going to follow this woman's journey. This woman's going, hey, are we even sure we're supposed to be wearing this hijab here? I don't think so. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure about that. So I'm just gonna leave my lovely blonde locks flowing in everyone's faces. That gonna go over well, AP?
Nope. It's going to be very, very stupid and very terrible.
That is correct.
And it's like, it is kind of an equivalent to, I don't know, somebody supposedly converting to Christianity. But the issue is that Christianity doesn't have any such overt, strict things that you have.
Yeah, you have passages like dress modestly and things like that. But
But if you suddenly convert to Christianity and then a very simple, basic doctrine you completely disregarded and started arguing, well, are you guys even sure that it is actually accurate? Like something that was resolved like
some new person. Some new person comes along. Are you guys sure? Is the entire Ummah sure about this? Because I haven't seen it, and I just started studying. I just converted, and I'm just learning. Are you guys sure you know what you're talking about? Because I don't know about this, and I decide this is way too individualistic, and this is horrifying to lots of men in the community because again, people are watching her, and they're worried about her influencing other reverts, other Muslim girls. They're worried about her casting doubt and thinking that she gets to decide for herself what Islam teaches. So I don't think this is going to go the way she thought it was going to go when she reverted. But let's let her continue here.
Because I've done my research. I know the verses by heart.
Whoa, gosh, that's more extreme. So she's not saying, hey, I'm still learning and I'm going to wait until I figured it out. I've already determined. I've studied for... This is worse. I've studied this for myself. I'm the expert on this. You're not. And I'm telling you, these verses do not tell me that I need to cover myself. Wow. That's pretty hardcore. I'm liking this chick.
Chapter 24, verse 31. Chapter 33, verse 59. Are you so certain that it's commanded in the Quran? Then convince me.
Yes.
Because I've done my research and it comes down to one single word. Chapter 24, verse 31, that says, use a kimar to cover the chest.
She will say, let me guess, she will say
that... And the kimar could mean head cover, but also cover. But if I read it...
What were you going to predict, AP?
I was going to say that she'll say it could be a head cover, but also just a regular cover to put on your bosom.
Because it says, it gets translated like cover your ornaments or something like that. What does that mean? What does your ornaments mean? Oh, it means your hair, and you'll have people who will interpret it like that. But I mean, totally, and say, oh, no, this means your hands. And then others feel, that even means your eyes. That's why you have to completely cover up and so on. But she's right in that it is way more vague. That verse is way more vague than lots of Muslims realize. But
yeah, I guess right. She's Dutch. I found it out. She's Dutch. I was obsessed with this. I was just looking for information. I was going through all of her TikToks to see if she said it anywhere. And somebody asked somewhere and said, what is your mother language? And she said Dutch. Good.
So she's from Dutchland.
And the kimar could mean head cover, but also cover. But if I read it, use kimar to cover chest, the intention is to cover the chest. How many times?
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, when the Quran says you gotta put this covering over your ornaments, you could interpret that as, all right, that's what she's saying. But I'm telling you, she does not realize what she just did. She's announcing to Muslim women of the world, you don't actually have to wear any sort of head covering. This is great. So you shouldn't even complain if it's banned, because it's not an actual part of your religion. It's just a myth spread by dudes. This is interesting. So anyway, that's the reasoning of people who are going to be really, really upset about her.
This is an incredibly, for those who don't understand, this is an incredibly problematic, incredibly bad thing in Islam, what she's doing right now. This is considered heresy and kufr, disbelief, blasphemy on her part, because she is denying that something that has been well established as obligatory is actually not obligatory. She's contesting it. Plus, on top of doing that, she is publicizing this idea and is preaching it to thousands, and thereby corrupting and thereby changing the Islamic morality and Islamic community, and influencing others and spreading corruption in the land, basically.
That's what they would view that as.
How many times is hair or head mentioned to be covered? 0 times.
Burn.
Convince me otherwise. I believe it doesn't come from the Quran, but from the Hadiths.
Yes.
But I haven't even finished reading the Quran.
So leave me
let
alone.
alone the Hadiths.
So, my goodness. Did you hear what you just said? I'm only following it once I've determined for myself that is what I'm supposed to do. I'm still reading the Quran. The Quran does not convince me of what you guys are saying, so I'm not doing it. I think it comes from the Hadiths, but I haven't even gotten there yet. Now I'm going to study that on my own, and then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. I decide. Me. I decide what Islam teaches on this issue.
Didn't she just say that she did all the research and already came to the conclusion, and that she doesn't agree that it is obligatory? And then later she concluded that she still hasn't done the whole reading. And once she concludes, she's read enough of the Quran to know that there are these 2 Quran verses, and she's not finished reading the Quran. She's still reading the Quran, but she's carefully investigated these 2 verses, and now she is qualified to educate the entire Muslim ummah. Here's the problem, lady. I just want, what I want whatever's best for you in life. I hope that things turn out well for you, but you are only able to get away with that because you are living in a non-Muslim country. That is the only reason you are at all remotely able to sit there and I decide what I'm going to believe, and this is my personal belief about what I'm supposed to do as a Muslim, and you other Muslims can't make me obey you. So you're one of these people, hey, let's all convert to Islam, and you think that you're going to be able to think for yourself and decide what you're allowed to do and not do, that you decide what is haram and halal, and you think that's going to go over well when Muslims show up and say, this is what you need to wear, and I don't have to obey you. Yeah, let me know how well that works out for you in the future. It is very clear in the Hadith, once you go into the authentic Hadith, the Islamically authentic Hadith, the Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, that women are required to wear the hijab, and that they're supposed to cover themselves so much so that they cover their heads. And it is also explained in the Hadith that the women of the time, the Sahaba, the women of Muhammad's time, they used to cover their faces. And there is, of course, dispute over whether covering your face is absolutely obligatory or whether it is just sunnah, whether it is it is an additional thing that you can do. But there are numerous hadiths. There are some, for example, that say, Aisha used to say, this is Sahih Bukhari 4759, when the verse, and they should draw their veils over their necks and bosoms, was revealed, the ladies cut their waist sheets at the edges and covered their heads and faces with those cut pieces of cloth. Then there are other hadith which say that after the hijab verse was revealed, the women would come to the prayer, and going home, nobody would would recognize them. And then there is another hadith which says that that Omar kept harassing the wives of Muhammad by saying whenever they went to the toilet, because it was distant, he would say, I recognize you, I can see you. And he would go to Muhammad and say, hey, why don't you tell your wives to cover up? So eventually Muhammad was like, wait a minute, I'm receiving a revelation right now. Allah's talking to me right now. So Allah sent down a revelation saying that all the women should be covered up. And then he was like, well, yeah, they should be covered up.
Mhm.
They should be covered up and they can go outside by themselves to go to the bathroom if they have to.
Mhm.
Upon which the wives would then go into the bathroom and nobody would be able to recognize them. So, and if you just dress modestly like this woman here, do we recognize her or not? We obviously recognize her. So they were in a state where they were unrecognizable, which means they were actually covered, probably fully.
And the other relevant Quran verse, because she cited one, but 33:59, like the Yusuf Ali version here. O Prophet, tell thy wives and daughters and the believing women that they should cast their outer garments over their persons when abroad. That is most convenient, that they should be known as such and not molested. And Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. So the reasoning here, pay attention to the reasoning. You cover yourself to avoid being molested. Well, what's the implication? That if you avoid covering yourself, what do you want? Kind of explains a lot about what happens in Europe right now, doesn't it?
Yes. All
right. We'll take a couple super chats and we're going to check out another blonde revert who's wondering why everyone is harassing her. Weird. You guys should respond to Fareed's proofs of prophethood. They're garbage, but they're from an actual classical scholarly work, which is interesting. We could do that. I wouldn't mind going if Fareed says he's got some proofs. We love going through the proofs.
To those. They were so ridiculous.
I think we went through one or two of them at some point.
Yeah, it's very low hanging fruit. We could go after those, and it's very easy. So, but I feel bad about it. But then that's Islamic standard. So
yeah, it's like you're beating a baby seal or something.
Yeah.
David, have you checked out TBN's new special called "Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus"? No, not familiar with that. Is that about Nabil, or they just stole his title?
Probably stole his title.
Here you go. AP, what are your objections towards Christianity? Because I'm a loser. Because I'm a loser. That's my objection.
How about you come here and ask me that in person?
Yeah, ask him to his face. See what happens to you.
No idea why I'm escalating here, but
it's what we do. You already said it. We escalate. You already said earlier. You already announced earlier on, just in response to a copyright issue, that we escalate. That's what we do.
That's what we do. It's an issue that I would talk about separately. I would always thought I would make a video on that at some point. Never did, but maybe I will one day.
That'd be a good show. AP's dumb objections to Christianity, and we'll just go through those and say how dumb they are.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Love both of you, and happy Orthodox Easter from Macedonia. We love you. Yes, Macedonians love T Wood and AP.
Nice. Greetings to Macedonia. I was there once.
You were there?
Yeah.
Jack says, thanks, D Wood and AP. Always so much fun. Would love to see you guys do a collab with a Nigerian perspective with Frank. Would be epic. Duo goat scream, please. We got a request, AP.
Oh no, my goat. I forgot my goat.
You didn't bring your goat?
No, I actually the day I bought it, I gave it to my little son to let him play with it, and he found it hilarious.
It is hilarious. Well, we can see one of us is always ready with the goat, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll do an extra one just so we can pretend, and maybe we'll do some creative editing to make it look like AP was ready with his. Here's the other one. Here we go. No, but we get a lot of requests about Nigerian perspective. So
yeah, we do.
I actually agree. We should get him on there. We should get him on with us.
We shall.
Mm-hmm. Please, AP, please release the track, please.
I have it. I think I have it as an unlisted video at somewhere saved, but I don't even have a whole track.
Didn't Sal do a remix that's available on his channel?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I need to take.
Yes, you could get the remix. You could get the remix there, guys.
Yes, you could.
Stephen Meyer was on. Oh, you found it.
My wife just brought it too.
Oh, nice. Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Powerful.
Nice.
Powerful. We should actually have a show called the Screaming Goats Show. Right? Who wouldn't click on a show called the Screaming Goats Show?
That would be amazing.
That would. Hey guys, little side note. I don't know if anyone. Well, I'm sure some of you have seen. We always get requests because we do live streams that are 3 hours, 4 hours, stuff like that. And some people aren't going to click on a 4-hour video. I know, because I'm one of them. If I see it, I really, really, really have to be interested in a topic to click on something that's 4 hours. So we have gotten requests for a long time. Hey, can you just post shorter stuff? And I usually get annoyed because if you don't want to watch a 4-hour video, don't watch it. There's like YouTube is filled with stuff. Go watch something else. We have tons of videos. We have tons of short videos. Why are you complaining that some people like to watch 4-hour live streams and hang out and stuff like that?
Yes.
So I usually get annoyed, but at the same time, we do make points in our live streams that would make good shorter clips, shorter videos. So anyway, started a channel titled Christian and Atheist React, and I started posting some of the shorter clips from our shows. So go ahead and check that out. But if you ever want shorter clips of what we're saying, let us know there. Stephen Meyer was on Piers Morgan. I'm sure you know this already. Yeah, I haven't watched it. We could discuss it. Well, I'll check it out. I'll see, because I don't know if Piers Morgan's going to be like, so let's talk about this. I'm going to lead you down a rabbit trail for 20 minutes of this interview. I don't know if he's going to be like that or if he's actually, but I mean, Stephen Meyer's just like the nicest guy in the world. So Pierce probably lets him speak, and they're probably not talking over each other. Anyway, I'll check it out. If it's cool, then we'll cover it in a live stream. We'll go through it.
Yeah, I would kind of prefer if Mike Myers was on Pierce.
Bing, 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 bing. Coolest theme song of all time. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I want to buy the rights to that just so I can have that as my intro music. I would have that as my intro music. People complain that I don't have cool intro music like AP. I would totally use the Michael Myers thing. It's awesome. This half brain should read Sahih al-Bukhari 304. Mm-hmm. Look up 304 real quick, AP. Mr. Bukhari.
I already read this. It says
Mr. Bukhari. Oh, that's
the one that says women go to hell. Women go to hell.
You see, this is the power of Allah.
Prophet Muhammad went to the women and said, I have been shown hell, and I saw that the majority. Anyway, go ahead. What?
Yeah, what's funny is so this lady does not think she doesn't think she has to obey her Muslim leaders and so on, but she doesn't realize what she just got into, because if she gets to know, I get to decide what I do for myself. Lady, you have half the intellect of a man. According to Muhammad, would you think you should be making these decisions? What is Muhammad? Even in the hadith we read about Muhammad saying that you have to obey your ruler, even if he's an Ethiopian and so on. He's giving the most. You guess what? Obedience is essential. You have to obey your leaders. Do it.
I'm actually curious. Like somebody like that who doesn't. She doesn't seem like a very subservient, mindless, completely stupid person, which is just my assumption at this point. But if you brought to her attention, for example, a hadith like that, which is widely
she'd reject it.
Authentic, the one that says that women are dumb, basically. Mm-hmm. What would you think about this, dear Melanie? What would you think about this? I don't know.
Her name's
Melanie? I don't know
Melanie?
if you would rationalize it. Yeah, it's Melanie. Yeah.
Oh, powerful.
Stuff.
Just started working at KFC, and at least 50 times a day, the manager tells me I need to fry the chicken, but how certain is he? Imagine you get a job at KFC. Fry the chicken. Well, how certain are you that I have to fry the chicken? I decide for myself. I've researched this for myself, and there are people who say you don't fry the chicken. So, what are you going to do? I live in a free country for the next 2 years.
Yes.
She didn't read the parts about not talking back to men. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Keep in mind the goal in the Ummah right now is to get her married off as quickly as possible. Get her to have a couple of kids so that she can't leave. She can't leave once she finds out more about Islam.
She should probably talk about all the marriage proposals she has been receiving, because it is. We know for a fact it is happening
daily.
In the back, she's receiving all kinds of please marry me.
If she gets 50 to 100, if she gets 50 to 100 messages saying, "Hey, cover your hair," she probably gets 500 a day. You marry me. You come to my country. You'll be treated like a princess.
I have many money, and I will have many camel, and I will give you camel.
And because it's a huge status symbol. European blonde revert. You're a boss. You're a boss in Islam. You get that?
Yeah. If it was permissible, it's almost like everyone is like, "Hey, can I please also try out your wife?" That's how everyone would view the situation. Yeah. And as Ali Dawah said, Muslim brothers, they say they would die for their brothers, would take a bullet for their brothers, but won't share their wives with their brothers.
Yeah, shame on them. Dutch Bukharina just reverted and is already a mufti. That is funny. I mean, keep in mind, I don't want this woman. I mean, it just sucks because she doesn't know what she's gotten into, and it's going to lead to trouble for her. But it is at the same time funny. It's like hilarious. So you can't tell me what to do, Muslims. That's awesome. I love that. We need to see more of that. We definitely need to see more of that. Oh, hey, check this out, AP.
Yes.
Destiny is debating Suleiman Ahmed on Israel, Palestine, and Islam on Fresh and Fit right now. You guys should cover it in a future video. Yeah, that's going on right now, dude. You might want to cover that tomorrow.
That's funny. Yeah,
that's huge. You might want to jump on that.
That sounds like it's going to be a massacre because Suleiman Ahmed is a complete imbecile. But yes, sure, we can do that.
Yep. Quran 533. Yeah, that's the one that comes right after 532. 533. That's the penalty for making mischief in the land is, and it gives a variety of punishments: crucifixion, dismemberment, murder, or exile or imprisonment, depending on the translation. But yeah, lots of punishments for making mischief in the land, which is exactly mischief or corruption, which is exactly what they would accuse her of. These reverts may like the complaint, but here on the best site on the web, you will never have to worry about that. Goat Hub, ladies and gentlemen, Goat Hub.
I like the other profile picture better.
Ferris asks why these women need to jump on this stuff. Yeah, guys, I mean, it's not out of the blue. It's not out of the blue. They are programmed for decades that Islam is great and wonderful and peaceful and tolerant and is the greatest thing in the world, and the only people who would ever object to anything in Islam are evil, despicable, racist liars. And so, whose side do you want to be on in all that? Be on in all of this. And so, guys, you kind of brought this on yourselves. Your politicians, your journalists, your educators, your entertainers. This is what they did to you, and it's not going to be good. You shall recognize Allah fans. Now we have Allah fans. Allah fans says you shall recognize Allah by his sneaky shin. Yes, you shall. All right. So we got some more super chats. We're going to hold off on those because we've got multiple videos to cover. Hey, Pete.
Yes.
We've already seen a video from a blonde revert being confused as to why people are telling her what to do.
Yes.
Here we have another video of another blonde revert to Islam who's really confused about why she has to actually follow rules. At first, you can convert and you get all kinds of wonderful attention and everyone's praising you and talking about how wonderful you are and what a great choice you've made. And then they start telling you what to do. And apparently, she doesn't like being told what to do. I wonder how she's going to get out of this, but let's go ahead and check this out.
Let's find it.
Yeah, learning about Islam, it's easy and it's
Wait.
fun.
What?
I know this girl.
No, you don't.
I thought this is, I think, I don't know if this is the one, but there was one who in the past was like, please stop sending me all kinds of messages saying, marry me, I love you, and things like that. I don't know if that's her. Maybe that's a different one. I don't know. Maybe they all look the same. White people. Anyway,
notice the pressure. Well, if you don't want us constantly harassing you for marriage and relationships and hookups, then you have to cover yourself. It's the only way. It's the only way. But it's just funny what she just said there. Learning Islam is so fun. But then, here we go. Super smart people, ladies and gentlemen, super smart people.
Yeah, learning about Islam, it's easy and it's fun.
Learning about Islam is easy and it's fun. You got this book, which is a bunch of Arabic gibberish, and you learn that, and then you find out it's just, there are all these massive multi-volume collections of stuff that you need to even understand what it's saying. It's so easy and fun. What do you actually mean right here, lady? You mean TikTok Islam is easy and fun. That's not, I don't know if she hasn't understood what she's gotten into. Shocker.
Then once you become Muslim, suddenly you have everyone on your head telling you everything that you're doing wrong and not encouraging you.
They're not encouraging you when they see you as a new Muslim influencer parading around the internet, showing off your hair, showing that you don't have to follow the rules of Islam and setting an example for young Muslim women. They start telling you what to do. Shocker. And look at what she has posted there. People have pushed me so far from Allah and Islam. They're pushing her away.
Ooh.
By doing what? By saying, hey, you're a Muslim now, follow the rules? Okay, let me get this straight. You knew so little about what you were signing on for that you're surprised that they're telling you that's the shocking part. Because that would kind of be the first impression I would get from Islam. I mean, if you heard it all about the, protests in Iran, or if you've heard it all about things in Saudi Arabia, if you've heard any of this, it seems like something you would pick up. And she's like genuinely confused. I'm so confused. I thought this was just going to be fun. it's going to be this fun thing, and I'm going to get tons of attention. And now people are telling me what to do. I don't know. It's so confusing. All right.
Jeez, I'm looking at her TikTok, no, her Instagram right now. She really needs to understand the culture that she's dealing with. Her last video is one where she's talking about how she doesn't feel like a Muslim anymore, but she's just trying to connect with it again, trying to reconnect. But the thing is also, in the video she sits there wearing her pajamas and wet hair dangling down, chest kind of revealed. Have some cultural awareness. This is nothing at all. But in Muslim cultures, as a woman, like they tell you to cover up.
Yeah.
And this is certainly not how to appear.
Yeah, and guys, so this is, on the one hand, it's hilarious, right? On the one hand, it's hilarious. You have Western women from Western countries saying, oh, it's cool and fun. This is cool and fun to convert to Islam. And I get to dress up as a Muslim now, and I get to be a Muslim, and I get to go around saying I'm a Muslim, and I'm going to read the Quran, and I'm going to get so much attention. So it's legitimately funny seeing people tick off a bunch of people in the Ummah saying, I don't have to follow your rules. I'll do what I want. I decide for myself what Islam is. That's funny. At the same time, I mean, this woman converted to Islam. Whether she stays or leaves, they're going to be harassing her for a long, unless she decides to get away from that, change her appearance so they can't recognize it. They're going to be harassing her every chance they get, no matter what she does now. If she remains a Muslim and continues acting like she is right now, they're going to harass her endlessly. Again, they're not just she's thinking of this is my life. I get to do what I want. It's my relationship with Allah. This is me, right? They're looking at her. No. Same thing that Ali Dawah would say when he's talking about executing apostates. The rights of the community, they're more important. They're more important than your rights as an individual, right? So she's thinking of this from one perspective. They're thinking, we cannot allow this to spread. If we just let every new TikTok revert do whatever she wants and interpret Islam however she wants, this will destroy us. And therefore, we have to get her under control. And they're going to find a way to get her under control. That's if she remains a Muslim. If she says, I don't believe anymore, then she gets harassed as an apostate.
This is the stupid aspect of it. So there is a lot of, digging to find and understand why these people are get this idiotic idea of converting to Islam. But I would say that one of the reasons is probably that, especially in Western nations, right? People like her probably think that that Islam is this rebellious, this anti counterculture thing, and if you go to it, then you will be relieved from something that pressures you here in this culture, and you go into this ultimate pressure culture. Actually, you go into the ultimate oppressive culture by taking this step and converting to Islam. So you want to be free, you want to make your own decision, and you want to convert to Islam, but then suddenly you find yourself in a religion where you are not supposed to make your own decisions. You're not supposed to be free. You're not supposed to take initiative. You're not supposed to do any of these things. You're supposed to simply follow the rules and obey whatever has been
mindless
decided.
obedience. Mindless obedience is the criterion in Islam.
Mindless obedience, especially as a woman. Just think about it. You see men who convert to Islam, they are not pressured every day and every night to change their appearance, to do this and to do that. You could just say, oh, I converted to Islam, and I like this religion, and there is nothing visible about you that people will come into the comment section and pressure you on and say, oh, why don't you cover up? Why don't you do this? Why don't you go pray? You don't even have to show anybody that you pray or don't pray. But if you're a woman, they will bother you and bug you day and night all the time, and this is what you have to deal with from then on. And since it is a religion that is the ultimately controlling religion when it comes to
I
women.
thought you were going to say the ultimately based religion.
No, controlling religion when it comes to women. This is the deal. So I don't know. Maybe you should think twice about converting, or maybe you should transition and become a man after you convert.
Yeah, maybe you should be aware. Yeah, or transition to being a man. Yes, AP is right. But I mean, think about it, guys. This is a very serious issue, right? Like we talk about her setting an example for others. AP, what might happen? What might happen if whatever country she's in, someone who's from Pakistan, a Pakistani family, moves to the UK, let's say, watches her videos, and the 15-year-old daughter decides, ooh, I want to be like Abby. I don't have to listen to people wearing a head covering, and it's from a Pakistani Muslim family. And the teenage daughter decides she doesn't have to follow the rules like Abby.
It's of course it depends on case to case basis, but it's very likely that this daughter would be
in trouble,
punished, would be probably told she has to stay at home until she obeys, and could get beaten, could get into
any number of punishments,
and it could even go as far as just I don't know, if it's a very, very religious and sick family, it could go into different circles of even further losing control into making her obey or even killing.
And guys, think about how serious this is, because I said that the criterion, I was not exaggerating when I said that the criterion in Islam is mindless obedience to what you're told. This is the Halalikhan translation of Surah 4, verse 65 of the Quran. This is the Quran. But no, by your Lord, they can have no faith until they make you, Muhammad, judge in all disputes between them, and find in themselves no resistance against your decisions, and accept them with full submission. Islam is about submission to Allah, but it doesn't just tell you that you submit to Allah however you want or however you feel like. It tells you how you submit to Allah. You submit to Allah by mindlessly accepting everything Muhammad says. Find in themselves no resistance against your decisions. If Muhammad says it's okay to bang a little girl, you can have no resistance at all in yourself against that decision. Muhammad says you have to cover up, you can have no resistance against yourself, or you're not a real Muslim. And so she thinks that, hey, I just decide this for myself, and I decide. He says, no, you are supposed to mindlessly obey what you're told. And so, interesting new version of Islam here.